Now, I have to ask, do you think this all-Canadian division thing is going to happen, and is it going to work?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to say Leafs take 2 of 3 from the Habs.
Oh, that'll be...
Like, it's going to be a baseball schedule.
It will be kind of fun, won't it?
I can't wait. I cannot wait. I think it's going to be amazing.
Do you think that it will finally be the thing that gets the Leafs through the first round? Like, I was thinking, like, they'll get to, like, go and play multiple series all season long, and they'll be used to it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even mean... I'm not trying to be a dick.
No,
but
I know.
You know what I mean? Sort of like, wouldn't that be awesome if they're like, well, we've been training for this? It's like, they really have.
It's a genuine point and genuine question, which is the worst part of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst part of it all.
There's no high end and there's no low end outside of Ottawa, but I think that Ottawa will be a little bit better this year. Yep. But if you look at an all-Canadian division, and it sounds like they're not going to play anyone else. Like, the latest proposal is you're not playing outside the division. So it'll be those 7 teams all year for 60 games. And the part that pisses me off about, like, if it's for 1 year, that's great. I think we'll all enjoy it. And hopefully it'll help our parent company's revenues that Canadian teams are playing Canadian teams every game. So the numbers might be higher than what we've seen in sports. But, like, we're going to eliminate Canadian teams again that might have made the playoffs. And here we are in 1993 still waiting for... That's the only thing that pisses me off about all this. And I know that there's Canadian players on the teams that win the Cup, but Canadian fan bases haven't celebrated a Stanley Cup championship since 1993. And that, to me, like, think about it. 67, 89 for the Flames, 90 for the Oilers, 93 for the Habs. Never Winnipeg, never Vancouver. And they're handing teams like Vegas a head start, and they're going to do the same thing with Seattle. So whatever gets me to the point where a Canadian team or their fan base is able to celebrate a cup, I'm happy with. And I think maybe this will get us closer.
I'm going to settle for fun because I think it'll be super fun to have the all-Canadian division. And I had some people message me like, well, then Canadian teams are going to eliminate Canadian teams. And I'm like, man, the furthest Canadian team this past year was Vancouver, and it was game 7 of the second round. Like, we're well past that.
Yeah. Vancouver checked out after game 4 of that series.
Right. Thatcher Demko was there.
Honest.
It was Thatcher Demko and just 18 guys who could have worn Guy on the back of their jersey. And they could have.
Or Guy. Yeah.
Or Guy. That's okay. That's okay. Shout out Alex Burrows, for sure. But it's like, it's a legitimate point, but beggars cannot be choosers. And all 7 Canadian teams are beggars right now.
Yeah.
Well, what if 4 Canadian teams get out of that division, Tim? Does that make it better for you?
Well, but so 4 Canadian teams
like for the postseason. Four Canadian teams get out.
They will. But do you think, if you look at the trajectory of the teams, would they have done that? Think of the Pacific teams. Like, okay, I know you guys are Leafs and Leafs and Leafs and Leafs, and this will obviously take Tampa and Boston out of the equation, which is good, I think.
Yep.
The Leafs taking Tampa and Boston out of the equation. I've been saying that's ridiculous for 3 years now. So for the Leafs, I think it's good. But the California teams are, I don't know how you say this, Papu. And all those Pacific Division teams just got taken out of that division and put into a division with better teams.
Mm-hmm.
So outside of Ottawa, is Montreal better? I think Montreal's better.
They are better.
They are better.
And they beat Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
Right? So for the Leafs, I think it's better. But the overall like winning percentage of the division isn't that bad.
Well, I'm wondering too about the Montreal specifically is weird because they finished 23rd of 24 that made it into the play-ins. And then they were 24. So Chicago was 23. So they do beat Pittsburgh and then they played Philly pretty well. But I have to say they were still 24th in the league. And they made they got Joel Edmondson. They brought in Jake Allen. They got a great deal on Toffoli. But it's sort of, is that going to be
Josh Anderson as well? Yeah, Josh Anderson's going to make a difference.
Josh Anderson, yes. And if he's healthy, what a great player. It's just sort of like, it seemed like a go for it summer for a team that's not close to go for it territory, but they're stacked in prospects and picks. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
They did it in a very different way though. It was interesting to watch teams pick up players and who they picked up. Because what's about to happen here? A really short condensed season. they pay Jake Allen starter money to back up Carey Price because they want Carey Price fresh should they get to the postseason.
So
And there's going to be a lot of games in a short period of time. And that's an issue with Carey. So you want to keep, so now he's fresh. And then it looks like for an expansion draft, they're covered off goalie wise. If it gets to that, they're tougher up front. They're tougher in the blue line. Like it just makes, and you hope Suzuki and Kotkaniemi can continue to look. Again, I'm not sure how much to read off of like 2 weeks of hockey from those guys, but everyone in Montreal seems convinced, surprisingly. So teams are building towards this shortened schedule in different ways. I think they did smart things in Montreal. I am not the biggest Marc Bergevin fan, but I think he did some intelligent stuff here. And it was time for both Max and the team to kind of just separate. I think it was healthy for both. Max got his money, so shout out to Max. I like what they did. I don't think they're going to be a 24th team in this league. However this looks, they'll be a little bit better.
And if Suzuki and Kotkaniemi are better or continue to grow, I think they're a good team. I think they're like 15 good.
It's pretty good. And it's going to be great for them in the Canadian division. Because if it's top four, I mean, you got to think, you hope the Leafs are in there. Although, man, I don't know. Not the way they played last year. You got to think Vancouver's, I don't know if they're going to take a step forward, but they're going to be probably at least as good, ? Losing their starting goaltender's tough, but they still have Thatcher Demko. They did get Nate Schmidt for a bag of pucks.
Yeah, Markstrom was really good. I don't know what Demko is, and I don't know what Holtby is at this point. And I'm a big fan of Vancouver.
100%. They've got a lot of great stuff going on there. Just some bad deals that kind of prevented them from keeping the players they wanted. Is Calgary the best Canadian team on paper right now?
Listen, the Leafs messed up Calgary a bit because I'm a TJ Brody guy. I'm a big TJ Brody guy. Last year, he had the health issue during practice. It wasn't the same as 2 years ago when he was a monster for them, an absolute monster. If he can get back to 2 years ago, and I think he can, I mean, that Leafs blue line looks a lot different. And Calgary's going to miss him. And Hammonick's gone too. They lost a few guys on that blue line.
Can I go pick up my kids from school and
come
back?
Go.
We may still be going, Tim. I'm not sure.
You gonna come back?
Yeah, I'll come back. It's right next door. Don't worry.
Okay,
I got lunch made already. We're good.
That's awesome. I knew somebody.
Drive safe, Mikal. Sure. It's real life, man.
That is.
It's real life.
Is he just leaving his thing on?
Yeah.
He's coming back.
Okay.
He's leaving. Dude, man, Rogers Internet, we don't pay. Just let that baby run. Let her run.
I'm going to send 6 pictures at once. I'm nuts.
You guys going to talk to your remote also?
Yeah.
I love talking to my remote.
How are you guys doing? Because I've been listening to you guys for 8 months. You guys have been phenomenal.
God you asked.
You guys have been phenomenal. Honestly, you guys have done a great job. And Tim will echo it. I didn't just start saying this because Tim left. He's going to maybe think I did. You guys have been great. You guys have been natural. You guys have been honest. You guys have been teaching me about the American Civil War. You guys have been going down roads that your spotlight on women's hockey and the professional game and what the future is and what the present is, I think has been fantastic. Harner Ryan Singh interview last week was great. I just think you guys should
be back in a second, guys. I'll just be back in a second. It won't take long.
He's wearing a mask. He strictly came back to show us he's wearing a mask.
But he's not an anti-masker.
He's not an anti-masker. I just think you guys have been doing a great job. You don't have to answer, but I think you guys have been amazing. Absolutely amazing. So kudos to the whole crew and keep it up. Hockey will be back before you know it, man. And Gary Bettman, Elliot Friedman's been saying this a long time, and he said it again last night, and he's bang on. When Gary Bettman wants to do something, it gets done.